Hopefully all those that see this are ready. And I begin by cracking open our book on Norse mythology. Alrighty. Okay, gonna drink some water and begin. Alright, so give them a few minutes. 1 and a 2, and I give some to you. 1 and 2. To you. I sound weird. During the day, I'm still battling a slight disease, but I'm fine. So I will read anyway. Man, I don't feel like reading. I'll play strategy game. Nope. Do. Okay. Hello to the first viewer. I shall begin since I gave the people 3 minutes to catch in. We begin with a story, mouthfuls of poetry. Thor and Loki walked together across the plain of Ida, toward Odin's hall, Valskujal, and Loki amused himself by seeing how long he could kick the same stone along the path. But he kept darting in front of Thor and getting in his way, until the god of thunder kicked the stone himself. He kicked it right over the walls of Asgard. "Why has Odin summoned us?" Thor grumbled. "What does he want?" "How should I know?" Loki said. "You're his son." "Most of us are," said Thor, "but that doesn't mean we know what he's thinking." Odin was waiting inside his hall, and he asked each of the gods and goddesses to spit into a large spittoon, made of 7 metals. Not Loki, though. To be sure the trickster lived in Asgard. But he was son of a giant and a giantess. Now that we've all mixed our saliva, Odin announced. "Yes, I'm trying to voice, and I have no idea how I sound. I've been told Loki sounds pretty accurate, though." Now that we've all mixed hearts alive, Odin announced, the old enmity between the warrior gods and the green and gold gods will be nothing but memory. Distant thunder. Allfather scooped a large glob of spittle out of the spittoon. Between his hands, it shone and trembled like frog spawn. With this, he told everyone, I will shape a new kind of being. This supernatural being, half god and half man. The gods called Kvishar, Vashir, Kvasir. Give it time once I'm in the stride of things. I'm gonna be voicing what we face in this game as well. So I may have silly sounding voices, but you're gonna be hearing a lot of them. So I hope you don't mind. Let's see. And because of the way he was created, he knew everything there was to know. The gods loved him dearly, and Kvishar was always generous with his wisdom, and often ranged through Midgard, counseling men and women, and helping children to answer their own questions. When the dwarf brothers, Valar and Galar, got to hear about Kvishar, they could think of little else but his precious hoard of wisdom, and how, as they thought, he was just squandering it. They wanted to steal it for themselves, and before long they invited Kvishir, I'm gonna go with Kvishir, because I don't know, to feast in their cliff cave beside the shore of the great ocean that surrounded Midgard. When he arrived, wise Kvishir found more than 100 dwarves had gathered to welcome him. Some with greedy little eyes gleaming like green glowworms, some with twisted bodies, and some with twisted minds. Kvishir smiled and shook his head. Nothing I say will match the honor you do me. There was a flickering candle on the stone table, and tucked into cracks in the walls, and the rock floor was strewn with little glittering quartz crystals. No warm wall hangings, nothing but jaundiced stalagmites and dripping stalactites. Kvishar admired the tableware. Every dish and the platter and the knife and the spoon was made of hammered gold. How wise you are to not stow away all your gold, but to put it to work and use it, Kvishir said. After the feast, Galar and Galir offered to show Kvishir their secret chamber. He followed them out of the echoing feasting hall, and as soon as the three of them were on their own, the dwarves drew pointed knives from their sleeves. They drove them deep into Kvishir's wise heart. For a little while, Kvishir's heart went on pumping, and its blood spurted out of it. Then it streamed, then dribbled, and the two brothers caught it all, every single drop. In two large metal jars and a gold cauldron they called Heart Steer. That same night, as soon as all their guests had trooped off to their own gloomy caves and fissures and potholes, Valir and Galir added liquid honey to the three containers, with long-handled gold ladles mixed it with the congealing blood. They blended The splendid blood and honey formed the most sublime mead. Heavenly, said Fajir. Holy, said Gallier. Whoever drinks a measure of this mead will become a wise poet. And there is nothing in the 9 worlds that will be better than that, his brother added. Before long, Odin sent messengers to Vajal and Gallier to inquire when Kvishir would be returning to Asgard, and at once the two dwarves replied that Kvishir had most unfortunately choked on a large lump of his own knowledge, and since there was no one who knew as much as he did, no one had been able to help him. From time to time, some dwarves and giants feasted together. Although dwarves hiss and whimper and giants boast and brawl, they usually enjoyed one another's company. When the giant Gilling and his wife visited Fajal and Gallier, it did not work out so well. Gilling drank so much that he almost lost his wit, and despite his wife's efforts to shut him up, he argued with absolutely everything the two dwarfs said. As the evening wore on, he became more and more embittered and spiteful. Eventually, Fajal said, What a nasty piece of work you are. Yes, they said that he choked on his own knowledge, when really they stabbed him to death. But you know, tomato, potato. Gilling stood up and threw the feasting table on its back. Nasty? Bellowed the giant. Is that what you said? Gilling's wife slapped her right hand over her husband's mouth, and Fajal and Gallier looked at Gallier. A dose of sea air, perhaps, suggested Fajal. Why don't we take your husband out for a row? That'll help bring him to his senses. The fact that it kind of worked is worse. The two dwarfs went rowing with Gilling. They rowed out into deep water and rammed their boat into a slimy, dripping rock. Gilling shouted with alarm, and when he tried to stand up, he stumbled against the gunwale and capsized the boat. The giant was unable to swim, so that was the end of him. The dwarves righted their boat, but it was still awash with slopping seawater, so they rowed rather slowly back to land. Such an awful accident, Gallier told Gilling's wife, and he made a long face. Fajal shook his head. Only he had been able to swim. Yes, the gunwale is part of a boat, which is awesome. And it's spelled exactly like that. Gun whale. Gil's wife couldn't stop weeping and sobbing. Before long, I just had to sneeze badly. Yes. After I read this story, I play the game, and then after a bit, I read the story again. And everything gets voiced. Be it a rattly skeleton boy, a ghost, a vampire, a ghoul, a demon, I throw my voice and play it all. gulped. She couldn't stop weeping and sobbing, and before long, the two dwarfs could feel the tide of her tepid tears washing around their ankles, and they didn't like it. Then Fajalir whispered something, and his brothers scampered out of the feasting hall and down a narrow passage. Let's put our nose outside, Fajalir told Gilling's wife. I can point out the rock to you, the place where your poor husband. So the dwarf led Gilling's wife across the hall and pointedly stood aside so that she could see through the low, narrow passage. Mind your head, he warned her. Galere was ready and waiting, and the moment the giantess stepped out of the passage, he dropped a millstone onto her head. It crushed her skull. I was sick and tired of all her bawling, said Fajalir. She was just a lump of blubber, said Galere. Frankly, we would have done all the other giants a favor. But the giant Suttung, the son of Gilling, and his wife did not see things this way. When the word of his father and mother's death reached him, he hurried out of Jotunheim and headed for Fajalir and Galir's cave. Suttung, listened impatiently to their tall tale, and then he grabbed them, holding one squirming dwarf in each hand. He stomped out of the cave and across the foreshore, and waded a long way out to sea. You dwarves may be able to swim, he growled, but not this far. Not from here right back to land. He dropped them onto a flat rock just above the jumping waves. So when the tide rises, Suttung said. Jala and Galler glumly eyed each other and then nodded. Yeah, we have an idea. Give us our lives, said Fajalir. Give us our lives, and we'll give you our greatest treasure. His brother said. What treasure? Growled Suttung, standing in the water up to his waist. The giant listened how Kavishir had been created by the gods and how its dwarfs had mixed his blood with honey. As Galere went on, Suttung began to roll his saucer eye. Once he owned it, he could make up songs of galumphing. He could do anything. He could make up poems in praise of himself. Why, he could become king of the giants. Once more, Suttung knew that how infuriated and anxious the gods. Okay, let me read that. Why, he could become king of the giants. What's more, Suttung knew how infuriated and anxious the gods and goddesses would be when they heard that he had gotten the mead. The giants agreed to exchange the lives of the two miserable dwarfs for the mead. They carried the two jars and the gold cauldron containing them straight back to Hintidbjorn, the mountain where he lived with his daughter Gunlod. The tongue hacked out a room in the very middle of the mountain. That's where he hid the mead. Then he told his daughter Gunold that she had one duty and one only. Gunold, guard the mead, the gift of poetry and wisdom, without which life is scarcely worth living. That's what the gods say. And guard it day by day. guarded by day and guarded by night. Because giants were boastful and can't keep secrets, it wasn't long before the gods and goddesses heard about the divine mead and how Sutung had come by it and where he hid it. "I'll go," the hidden to Bjorg, Thor offered at once. I'm not having Sutung get the better of us." "In that case, I'll come with you," Loki said. "Brawn is not much use without brains. Anyhow, everyone knows how thirsty you get. You'd probably drink half the mead on the way back to Asgard." "No," declared the Allfather. "I'll go to Jotunheim myself, and do whatever I must to get the mead back. Kvasir was made of each of us, and all of us, and his blood belongs to us. The gift of poetry is only ours to give." "My boys are mixing together. I need water." They all think that the giants are dumb. Let's see. Wearing a thick woolen cloak and a broad-brimmed hat to conceal his blind eye, Odin left Asgard on foot. He greeted Heimdall, crossed the three-strand rainbow, and set off to the broad river away to the north that divides the Midgard from Jotunheim. A ferryman rowed him across, and Odin strode up into swelling foothills. Well watered as they were with the summer showers, the grassy valley between them were green and shining and succulent, and strewn with wildflowers, oxeye daisies, willow herb, scabus, and burning gentile. Allfather walked down towards a line of 9 young men scything in a large field. They were dripping with sweat. "Hard work, lads," Odin called out, when one young youth leaned on his long scythe. "Wanna go, do ya?" "Are you from Midgard?" Allfather asked. The youth nodded. "Hired hands. We're here all summer. I'm the foreman." "Who are you working for?" "Boggy, Sutung's brother." "Ah," Odin said. "I'll let him too," groaned another lad with blunt thighs. "Sharpen them," Odin said. "Can't." "Why not?" Lad scratched his right ear. Why can't we, mate?" he asked the foreman. Why did you say?" "Because we got no whetstone." "That's right," the lad said. He shook his head. "We ain't got no whetstone." Man, if this is what you call summer vacation, I can't wait to see what you think of work. He explained to Odin. Allfather united the top of his long coat and untied the top of his long coat and pulled out a whetstone. It looked like a rolling pin with tapering ends. "Use mine," he told the foreman. "No, give me your scythe," he told the foreman. "No, give me your scythe, the whole lot of you, and I'll put edges on them. You lads need a break." 9 scythes were soon so sharp they could have cut thistle and thorns. They could have cut the lad's fingernails, and toenails. How could we? Well, their foreman began. Seeing as we don't get paid until we've done all the work, need loan us it? That whetstone? The Allfather stared at him, and his one glittered eye, black and silver. Then he glared at each of the other lads, and his gaze was so fearsome it drilled right through them. Odin whirled his arm and hurled the whetstone as high as a bubbling lark. "Catch it, lads!" he shouted, and his voice was so as cruel as the cutting edge of their thighs. "My whetstone belongs to whoever catches it." The hired hands stared up into the bald, bright sky. They brandished their scythes. They yelled and spun around. They swept and spun around, looking like dancers in a trance, like lost boys. By the time the whetstone had fallen back to earth, all the lads had accidentally cut one another's throats, competing for the whetstone. All nine lay higgledy-piggledy in the blood-stained grass. As for Odin, he caught the whetstone, replaced it inside his cloak, and sprinkled farther into the foothills leading up to the towering Blue Mountains. What do you mean, no more hugs? Hundreds, maybe thousands of sheep and goats were scattered across the high pastures, and although he couldn't see anyone, Odin several times heard the shrill call of some herdsmen. Allfather walked on, but when he came to the very foot of a rocky mountain, he doubled right back on his tracks, hurried across the slopes, and after a couple of hours, strode up to the giant boggies. Giant boggies farm. Their sides are covered in spikes. I'm not sure who you mean has sides covered in spikes. The guys in the story are all dead, if that's what you mean. But I'm not sure there's any spikes. The size of the hay barn astonished him. You could have stowed 4 or 5 barns built by human beings inside it, or even a couple of the halls of the great gods. "Who are you?" Boggy demanded. "Volk," said Allfather. "Have you got any summer work for me?" Boggy kept clenching and unclenching his fist, looking over the god's shoulder at the open door. "Bad," and he growled through his broken teeth. "What's bad?" "Terrible." "What is?" "All my young farm hands have been murdered." "No." "This afternoon," snarled the giant. "All 9 of them. Must have been raiders. I'll run them down and kill them." "Good timing," Odin said. "Good timing then." "Good? I've come just at the right moment." No, they didn't cut. Okay, so I see where you're confused. You think that the young men used their spikes to kill each other. No, they were trying to catch the whetstone with their thighs, which basically think of a sickle or like the Reaper tool the Grim Reaper uses. That's the size. Now they use that to try to catch the whetstone and slit each other's throats. Because they had very sharp blades and they were like spinning and stuff, trying to catch it. I've come just the right moment, Odin told him. I can do the work of 9 men, and I'll stay all summer. The giant gave Odin a suspicious look. Is that so? He growled. What did you say your name is? Bulwark. And your price? Odin shrugged. Oh, he said quite casually. To be strong as 9, let alone strong as a giant. That's a great thing. Very great. But to be a poet, I think that's the greatest. My price? Just 1 sip of Stigund's mead. The giant hawked and spat on the ground. I'm not my brother's keeper, he said. Stigund would never agree to it. He never agrees to anything. We have 3 more pages before I get to play the game. So let's keep going. That's a pity, said Odin, and he sucked his cheek. Work well for me all summer, and I'll ask him, Boggy told him. That's the best I can do. So Odin labored in the giant's field all that summer. He cut the grass and trestle and hauled it back to the huge barn. He watered Boggy's cattle and sheared the sheep. Now then, he reminded Boggy at the end of the summer season, you're going to keep your word. You're not a mere man, the giant grumbled. I don't know who you are, but I know that. Odin smiled a smile as sharp as a scythe. You keep your word, he said, and you'll come to no harm. So Boggy visited his brother at Bajor, where his daughter, Gunnald, was guarding the divine meat over my dead body. Stigund told him, no one is going to taste so much as a drop of it. When Boggy returned to his farm and told Odin what his brother had said, Odin was angry. All right, he said, if your brother won't give me a single gulp, we'll have to steal it. He delved into the inner pocket of his cloak and, with flourish, produced a wicked-looking screw used for boring holes in wood and metal and stone. This is an auger, he said, and it's not an ordinary one. It can drill through ice, drill through hardwood, and drill through granite. The least you can do for me is drill a hole through the mountain where Gunnald is guarding the mead. Anyhow, do you fancy yourself a drop yourself? Boggy did as Odin asked him. With the auger, he drilled into Jabor. Then he pulled it out and wiped his brow. There, he exclaimed. That's it. Odin put his mouth to the hole made by the auger. He filled his lungs and blew hard, and a shower of rock chippings blew straight back into his face. The god glared at Boggy. That's not right through, he shouted. It's not, and you know it. Angrily, Boggy drilled again, vowing to get his own back on Odin. And when Odin blew into the hole for the second time, all the rock chippings rough and tumbled right through the mountain and out the other side. At once Odin turned himself into a snake, and before Boggy could stab him with the point of the auger, he slid into the passage and rise toward the chamber at the heart of the mountain. Then Odin changed himself back into Bolverk, tall and strong-shouldered and muscular, a man of a god, a godlike man. Gunnald Suttung's daughter was guarding the mead. As soon as she saw Bolverk, she was spellbound by her one-eyed visitor, as he seemed to be spellbound by her. On her gold stool, she sat and listened to his story and song of the 9 worlds. She listened to the stories of times long past and times present, and it was as if in that chamber time no longer existed. After being imprisoned in the cold chamber and in deafening silence for so long, Gunnald felt that these stories were warming her back to life. Giant's daughter swept back her long ashen hand. Bolverk gazed into her trusting eyes. He took her in his arms. He kissed her, and they lay together for 3 nights. Gunnald was so drunk with passion that she completely forgot, or chose to forget her father's words. When Bolverk asked her for 3 gulps of the divine mead, she actually took his hand and led him to the 2 jars and the cauldron. With his first gulp, Bolverk emptied all the mead in the first jar, and with the next all the mead in the second. He held both draughts in his mouth, and then with his third huge gulp, he emptied Heartsteer, the gold cauldron, and held that in his mouth too. At once he turned himself into an eagle, leaving Gunnald behind without a backward glance. He flapped away down the dark passage. The tongue was sitting outside his hall, at the foot of the mountain, and because he had won the gift of wisdom by sampling the divine mead himself, he knew what must have happened as soon as he saw the eagle soaring towards Asgard. The giant crouched and chanted the magic sounds known only to those who have tasted the mead, and he too was able to change himself into an eagle. At once he set off in pursuit of Odin. Okay, I'll stop. What's the matter? Is something the matter? Never mind. Okay. Did you think that it was about to get dirty? Never fear. I wouldn't do that. In pursuit of Odin. The watchman Heimdall was first to see them. 2 eagles, one chasing the other, and screaming. At once he sounded his ringing horn, and the goddesses and gods brought out pans and bowls and cauldrons from their halls, and laid them on the ground just inside the great wall. Nearer the 2 eagles came, the closer Suttung grew to Odin, because the god was weighed down by all the meat in his mouth. Several times Suttung tried to peck at Odin's tail feathers, and when the god flew over the bridge and dived over the god's newly built wall, there was no more than a heartbeat between between them. Such was Odin's haste that he accidentally spilled a few drops of mead outside the wall. They fell onto the ground. The gods and goddesses weren't worried about them, though. And later Odin said that any human who found a drop was welcome to it. He said it was the right amount for anyone and everyone who wants to make up a cheery jingle or rhyme. When Odin spat the divine mead into the crocks and container, all the gods and goddesses recognized just how important their new wall was. Allfather sucked his cheeks and spat again, and the tongue soared above the watching gods, wild, shrieking. He knew that if he tried to land in Asgard, the gods would overwhelm him and tear him into pieces. He screamed. He wheeled away and dropped towards Jotunheim. The gods used cunning and force and knew they could never trust the giants and the dwarves not to be the same. And sometimes men and women use cunning and force. So does trust belong only to children and young men and women. Young as the aired hands from Midgard, who accidentally cut one another's throats competing for Odin's whetstone? Is there no one else in the 9 worlds so full of shining trust that it will never be eclipsed by the cunning and force around them? One by one, the gods and goddesses tasted the mead of wise Kvasir's blood and molten honey. And because the god Bragi, who so loved words for their music and meaning, and was never at a loss for them, Odin named him the god of poetry. Allfather allowed Bragi a double portion of mead. He charged him with remembering all the stories about the gods and goddesses, and sometimes singing and saying them at their feasts. Time passed, as time must, and every now and then Allfather crossed the Rainbow Bridge and offered a sip of the divine mead to someone in Midgard, and each man or woman who tasted it became a poet. That's the end of Mouthful of Poetry. Now to the game. Fiona, who I've voiced seasonally before, but now I'm congested and stuff, so it's probably going to be horrible. But I will consume much water and other things. Okay. La la la. A goon! Oh no! How will I ever beat the goon? Excuse me. Nope. I sure do love overkill. It's Ludmilla. What is... Shh. Listen, she's not alone. The Master ordered you to do my bidding. Go and find the artifact for me. My Master will grant you even greater power once you have satisfied his requests. So why do you search for a powerful artifact? On the other hand, it could be a threat to me. I will not have that. Use your wizard magic to locate the Twilight Urn. Hurry! You hear that? The Miller consorts with wizards and bargains for power, just as I thought. These wizards will lead us to Nahara's ruins. When does the ritual begin? Soon, very soon. Our quests are linked, Fiona. Both you and Ludmilla seek the urn, and I seek to ruin any plan she makes. What do you think about these voices? No real practice, no real skill, just on the fly. Interested in another bounty? For the bounty from the list. We can have Stumpy. Stumpy, a dark elf druid, last seen fleeing the tainted sands, covered in Trent sand. What's his crime? His delusions make him see people as trees, and then he tries to prune their imaginary branches. For someone who's an aspiring voice person, I will say that I'm happy to hear that you think they're okay. I ain't no skilled voice actor, and I don't even know how to harness my voice fully. Interested in another bounty? Choose a bounty from the list. Orak. Urolux. The demon sorcerer, spreading chaos around the eternal shrine. There's another Bloodhorn, the demon who has been defiling the ancient ruins of Nahar. Bala, the powerful and handsome wizard who cares little for the sanctity of life. He can be found in dark places. I've not felt so alive since, well, since I was actually alive. Feels great. I must ask, could I interest you in a friendly bit of sparring? If you win, I'll give you a very useful reward. I could use practice, Sir Skeleton, but I won't hold back. Wonderful. Let's see how you fare against Sir Skeleton's rattle prowess. Tomorrow, by the way, for those who are watching, I'm playing Jump Force. I'll be just having fun, not really voicing anything. But I'll be making jokes. But my limited experience was in the realm of anime. I just realized an error that I made. A very immense error. Luckily I can survive it. That's quite the blow I took. Not a good move for me. I wasn't looking. Murder. Anything you'd like me to change about my voices? If you have a request, I'll see if I can accommodate. A unity! See, they've gone from very little to 38 and increasing in power. The enemy can do nothing and we are now immortal. He is doomed. It's very sad. Very, very sad. He's a 28 cell. And death.
Oof. You've become quite skilled, Fiona. You most certainly earned this reward.
The spider cloak. Reduces heroes' max HP by 75%, but increases power of all formations by 75.
Shall we? I think we should, but it's up to you. You, as my viewer, would you like me to equip the spider cloak, increasing my difficulty but also my power? We'll give you a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, do 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 do. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. Gonna sing a stupid song because I can't along these lines. I'm saying in the song. Do do. Giving some tunes. Do you want to have me equip the cloak? It's alrighty. And our vote says yes.
You haven't found yourself a treasure hunt, Fiona.
No, Sir Skeleton. Can't say I have. Though I've never fancied myself a ghost either.
And yet, well, if you're interested, then how does an ancient saying go? X marks the spot.
Let's go get Stumpy.
These lands are so lifeless,
Soothing. Quiet. You seem a long way from home, Elf. What brings you to Harris? Shh, shh, talking tree. Let Stumpy prune those dirty little twigs. Stumpy, I understand you are trying to be nice. I like my arms though. Dear Lord, look at this. I have 9 HP. 9 HP. One hit and I'm a dead man. Okay then. I doubled up on defense on accident. On accident, you know what? I don't care. I need defense. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Kill him. Yeah, baby. Not
even worried for a second. They're nowhere at all. I was completely in control. I had that down pat. There was nothing to worry about at all. I definitely wasn't terrified of death. As I always knew victory would be mine.
I did it. Now I must find the agent with my reward.
Capturing a bounty? Excellent work. Here's your reward.
Engaged in ruins. I thought are through here. Let's go inside. No, I wanna. Young apprentice, I offer you a challenge. Please go on, Ranger. Sylvan adventures, like most elven things, are natural and grow in battle. From special breed of vines. I do remember reading about such wondrous things in my studies. I dare say my vine walls not only grow the fastest, but are also incredibly strong. However, I've never tested them against the forces of Harish before. Would you be up for the challenge? I offer a reward in the unlikely event you win. Let us put your green thumb to the test. Parnir. Yeah, he definitely is. Seems like an anime. Ah, Fafnir. Clever. We're not talking enough about death. Let's see if this works. Genie! Ah, she needed your special unit. Come on. 28, come on. Suck it. Barnier. Perhaps a good offense is actually the best defense. Please accept this reward. The Blood Ring. Defeating idle enemy units replenishes the hero's MP. Do we replace our spider cloak? I mean, I think the spider cloaks do put in the work, but it's up to you. It's putting us in a lot of pinches. I basically fill up with one of my special attacks. It's up to you. You saw what I did with the spider. Now, MP, I'll give you insight. I'm enjoying the challenge, if I'm honest. It's pretty fun, but it's up to you. The viewer, I want to have complete autonomy. If you'd like me to continue this challenge, I'm happy to do it. If you'd like to see what I do with the Blood Ring, I'm happy to do that. It's all up to you, the viewer. I had to have an active chat. This is nice. Okay, so you want me to put it on. So now I should probably show you these. So we also have the Plague Rat. We have the Spider Cloak, the Ritual Dagger, deleting an idle core unit, literally a random enemy core unit in the opposite column. We can the blood of the one. Increase the power of your vampire's blood drain attack by 25. And the Curse Shield reduces defensive strength of enemy walls by 50%. Let us go practice with it in the Hall of Challenge. Also, there's a goon here. Why am I carrying blood? Because I'm a ghost. And I have vampires. Keep walking, kid, if you know what's good for you. Purple bandana, large, buggy eyeballs. That must be Bug-Eye Magurk. Alright? Bug-Eye. I hate being called Bug-Eye. The blood of the one increases my vampire's ability to drain the HP from my opponent's life bar and give it to me, which is pretty nice.
Okay, so I'm going to read out what my viewer just said. Bugga, 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 bugga. Why does that now sound like a chicken? Bye! 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 And I just did the goofy laugh. Fantastic. Yay, more blind by rage. He wants to kill me. And might succeed. Boy, I sure do love this. I made 0 errors in my choice to insult a man. Because my goons will draw his HP to me. Now then, for Doomblade, Doomsday, give me your blood. Die. And that was what the ring does. My MP went up when he decimated my units. I did it. Now I must find the agent for my reward. I'm surprised I did the goofy laugh. Were you surprised by that, my viewer? Oh. Cashing in a bounty. Excellent work. Here's your reward. Can't get over that I made it. Now then, to my goonish enemies. Why can't she pass through things? Because this world is a world of the dead. It would be kind of pointless to build things if ghosts could just pass through it. I found it! Ha! I told you my divining spell was better than yours, Mirkos. We cannot let Ludmilla have the artifact. She must be stealing objects of power. Death Knight. Who wants me to equip the Death Knight? Also, yeah, we're in the City of the Dead. Yeah, the vampire is following me. Or necromancer. I'm convinced he's a vampire necromancer. Okay, so ghosts or a vampire. I'm gonna go always if we're gonna get rid of one of them. We're gonna get rid of the ghost because I like the ghost in all honesty. But since you want me to replace them, the ghost would be my choice. While charging, the Death Knight draws power from its enemy's formation. At the vampire. Pardon me. Pardon me, young lady. Do you care for to face a little challenge? So far, I am undefeated, but with victory comes ennui. And, well, just to spice up my life, I'll pay you handsomely if you manage to pierce my defenses. Not even for a necromancer, that's weird. Please, do me a favor. If you hit me 3 times at once, you may be the first to ever do so. Now remember, you'll only win if you manage to strike with a triple attack. Oh, she's young.
She was like 16, maybe 18 when she died. And she died like a day ago. She is very young. Yeah, she kind of didn't want to die when the world she knew was about to be murdered. She was trying to come back and stop the whole end of the world thing. And I believe I've already won. That was a triple attack. I failed twice at first, but then I just hit him with a quad attack. 4 attacks at once. I think that did the trick. Exhilarating. We should do it again sometime.
Crown of Thorns.
Enemy heroes lose 2 HP every turn. How did that sound? Shall we wear the crown of Jesus? Do we wear the crown of... I don't wear the crown? Okay. It would have been pretty neat though. But I agree. Okay, I'm gonna quickly down some water for this one, because I'm about to shred my... Yes, I did say that it was the crown of Jesus. Currently I'm only actually wearing the ring, but I could put on the crown of thorns, aka Jesus. What do you like me to? Also, for how much things am I wearing? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna count that to 4, 5, 6. Technically 7 if you count the plague rat. Shall I put on the crown before I attack, or do we just stick with what we got? No crown of Jesus, I'm guessing. Bloodthorn. Too angry to talk. Arrgh. Bloodhorn. No talk to little girl. Bloodhorn only eat little girl. Arrgh. Oh, I didn't see you saying where until I already clicked it, but do I envision my chat as anything? Currently? I'm not sure if I have thought of anything I'd envision the chat as yet. But considering what I let the chat do, maybe voices in my head. Just the entity that I am is very schizophrenic. Someone's talking to me and like I'm playing ball and someone's talking to me and my chat starts saying murder them, stab them, and I'm like, ah, bang! Oh no, I killed someone again. Damn it, voices! Yeah, you're right. What do you think? What do you think that this chat should be? Since you're the one who brought it up, and usually this chat's pretty barren, what would you like the chat to be envisioned as? Firefox, huh? But the idea that I will eventually make a avatar, which is a knight, yeah, that could work. I like your idea. Or maybe those little, I don't know why, but I just sounded like those little spirits from Princess Mononoke, I think it is. Little woodland things with the shaky head and stuff. Remember that movie? It's a pretty good movie. Should I make? I'll keep those ideas in mind. If I ever, once this thing becomes bigger, I'll put a poll like, okay, so are you guys tree spirits or are you fire foxes? Or other. Input your idea, and then whichever one becomes the biggest, I'm like, yeah, I'll see about it. If I like it, I'm like, yep, that's it now. And then I'd add it to the avatar. Tree spirits would probably be fun, considering I have considered an additional thing. Firefoxes could be fun as well. I like the ideas. I like having people in the chat. It makes it feel like it's fun to interact. That's my goal with this whole thing. Interact. Like when I play a game that I've beaten before or I've played several times, I want the people watching me to have power within it. That was a fun conversation while I faced an entity I was way under-leveled for. I did it. Now I must find the agent for my reward. My voice keeps being weird. We've been followed. What shall we do, Fizzbomb? Bam. I will use that new portal spell. See what they do against a host of demons. Oh no, demons! It's not like I just fought a demon. Truly, this is the end of us. Yeah, she's a pretty nice person. But this is the end of us. Demons, which I just faced a giant version of. And I beat him quite handedly. Clearly my end is nigh. Gotta help old ghosts, we're gonna help them out. A helpful ghost that we are possessing, how about that? A helpful ghost who wants to save the day. So, hey, why not to see what adventures we get up to? Let's go save the world, let's help this ghost out now. I say that they're so nice, I think we should. What about you all? Should we help them out? Or should we let them rout? What should we do today? I don't know entirely, but I think that we're on a journey. What are we doing now? I'm not sure anymore. but I think that we have something new in store. Da da da, come on, let's have an adventure. Come on, let's see the sights. Da da da, and let us enjoy a journey unlike any that we've faced before, because who knows what you may find in store. Who knows what could be waiting. It's so exhilarating. Man, I wish that he didn't spawn right there. Canceling out my enemy. A decent feat, I'll accept it with glee. I'm literally making up a song on the spot. How does it sound like a One Piece intro? It's quite the skill. Come on, let's see the sights. Even if it's always night, I say that there's a world unexplored. And my beat's going off the rails. I have no rhythm, no idea where the song is going. So let us see, with much glee, where is it going now? Will it be something magical or a disaster? Something quite unpractical. I'm not sure, but we are singing, and I have no clue what I'm doing. Do 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 do. Boo do 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 do. Listen to my jaunty tune. I have no clue what I'm doing. Hey, a moon! Sorry, I got distracted by the moon. Let's keep singing in tune. There's nothing like adventure. And I'm not sure how to rhyme that. In fact, I'm quite unsure. How do you rhyme adventure with anything? It's unclear. But I'm sure we'll win the day just like that. It was easy like I knew. So easy, don't you know? This cannot be. Middle's allies are in league with the filth of Shigos. The evil that took my life and family found its way to Harish. It's more than a coincidence. Something very big is going on in Ashen. More than what happened to me. They swatted the demons like flies. Let's go get to the portal. Fizzbomb, quickly. Shh. Portal is a secret. We should join forces to destroy them. Secret portal? This smells like a plot and like plots and treachery. That's why I'm gonna beat you as soon as I regain my armies. We like right back quickly? Okay. Will you be letting her do this, Fizzbomb? I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I wouldn't want it to be too easy. I mean, I have faith in us, but
She did just destroy those demons and she's arming herself. This feels like a really bad idea.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
If this goes south, I'm blaming you.
Yeah, if it goes south, you'll be dead.
I hated how you're right about that. Also, I need to go face this guy.
Capturing a bounty?
Excellent work. Here's the reward. What you buying?
What you selling?
I'm just making up talk as I do this. Just the two guys have been. I don't know if this is a good idea. It's fine. Sure, she just annihilated or summoned goons, but I'm sure she won't annihilate us when we let her arm herself. See, look at that. She's being attacked by a goon right now.
Hey, big fan of your work. I just wanted to train with you.
I'm going to murder you. Wait, what?
I'm just a fan.
I will kill all who get in my way.
It might have been a mistake.
And now we have a crap ton of moves. Why are you worried? So you're worried, so why is that? Apparently I have 3 viewers, but it's only counting 1. Fascinating. Talking to myself, like I'll make commentary with myself, try to have fun with the game, but yeah, apparently I looked at the viewer thing that I can look at as the streamer, and it says there's 2 other people just silently lurking, which is pretty neat. As for, but I do talk to myself. There's nothing to worry about. Mainly how I think. Saying ideas out loud and stuff commonly helps you have a better idea of, does this sound smart or does it sound really dumb? Like mentally it could sound awesome to go have a fist fight with someone.
but you say it out loud, I'm gonna go fist fight that guy over there. And it sounds pretty dumb. I'll go downstairs and make pizza. Oh, the enemy's dead. Didn't even lay a scratch on me that I didn't instantly recover from. As far as I know. Face me, goons. Oh, these losers. Level 5. They're nothing. So, what? Main plot of this game. Basically, we have 4 heroes. An elven woman, a brother and sister from kingdom, a religious kingdom, by the way, and they're all currently at peace because years ago all the clans united in, hey, I don't like demons, I also don't like demons, I hate it when they try to kill us all. Same thing here. We should probably work together to stop the demons. And so they did. They worked together and thoroughly slapped the heck out of demons. Unfortunately, the demons weren't really done. And so I've been plotting. And now plan to come back and commit murder, which is pretty cringe, not gonna lie. Nobody really likes it when you commit murder. It's really inconvenient for others. So the demons are working with the magic goons and others, and are basically tempting them with power, and us, the heroes, are trying to, throughout the 4 different lands, are trying to stop this whole demony thing from really happening. Also, there's 5, not however many I originally said. I forgot about one of them. Yeah, murder is pretty immoral. Mainly it's cringe.
move it, dog. You make me look bad.
Supernaturalizing is pretty neat. Tell us the location of the portal, wizard. Where is it? Search to no avail. Our magic guides trail. Near warriors entombed. A rock is merely presumed.
The Twilight Urn increases the power of walls created by fallen idol units by 100%. Do we use this? Should I equip the crown? What shall I do, my friend? Also, as for a finished thought on the supernatural, I think it's pretty neat. I haven't seen 100% proof that it exists, but I like to think it exists. And the crown or the urn, which one am I equipping? Also, I'm not 100% sure it exists. I like to think it exists. And it's something that I'd love to have proof of first-hand experience. I've joked like the I know I need it. I just want to have it in my possession so I can be revived. We're not trying to destroy it. We're trying to use it so we can revive ourselves. We can be human once again. Or at least enter the human realm. Also, would you like me to describe the way that the playstyle of the three that we faced so far? So far, we've played as elf, human knights, and ghosts. Now, the necromancers or ghosts, they play by outlasting you. Basically, their special units and stuff are designed to weaken you and outlast you, heal from your injuries. The elves are good at being quick, speedy, and defensive. Their walls grow on their own and aren't fully destroyed easily unless you, the owner, deletes it. They slow you down, they go over your walls, and they just try to take care of you with fast and decent attacking power. Then you got the humans, which are about the standard. They have decent lasting time and rely on a heavy damage. Their idea is, I will punch through a wall so fast and so harshly that you can't repair it in time. Like the angels, you link two angels or merge them, they're dealing over 200 damage. No one gets over 120. Except for a boss. Now about the Twilight Urn, do I equip it or not? Equip it. Typical wizard. Comprehensible to the end. Ah, Fiona, you are amazing. Now you have the Twilight Urn, and Ludmilla has nothing but trouble. But this portal, the wizard's riddle. We must find it, Markal, for my family. The death cult ritual comes soon, Fiona.
Will you risk missing that to chase riddles? It's worth it to me, Markal. There's also duty to think of. Let's decipher their riddle. The Twilight Urn is now our equipped item, as voted on by my chat. By Firefoxes, or tree spirits. Whatever they are currently is undecided. By Elrath, that rock was but an apparition. A titan. Typical of wizard thinking. Clumsy and obvious. Search of what? The answer to this riddle? Because we're kind of figuring it out. Besides, to look up every single answer would kind of defeat the purpose of the game. You can look it up if you want once I fail to find it eventually. If I fail to find it, that is. But for now, no. No looking it up. I wouldn't want to just ruin the game. Are you enjoying watching the game? Glad to hear that you're liking the game. I want to harvest your strengths for my own.
As I said, the undead, as you can see here, survive off of their playstyle is survive. Outlast the opponent, dwindle down them slowly, draw strength from them, that type of stuff. For a moment the game froze. I just want to let my vampire, who is being uber charged, to have the honors. HP. Portal must be in the script, away from prying eyes. Probably. Blasphemy and villainy. Is this how Ludmilla brings the infernal allies to Hades? Not just Hades. Markov, the demons that attacked my family came from somewhere. My God. And they say he is wreaking havoc in Shego. Commanded demons to kill other demons. How can this be? How can a human boy possess such power? Shego? They're mad. These demons. Enough. Now I have a chance for some justice and vengeance. Shine! Be Shined. So I'm likely gonna end it after this battle. It's been a decent amount of time and I don't want to be those streams to be unwatchable for those that didn't watch it live, so I'd say about close to 2 hours and 15 minutes is a good time.
kill. Yes, good.
I'm now completely recovered. You did nothing to me in the end, and yet you're dead.
Oh, this does not look good.
Note.
Route matched.
Join us sooner than I had planned. Look at that man! Look at that human boy! You see that, my God? Demons emerge from the portal and act their own kind.
I'm disgusted. Let us take advantage of it and run.
So let's just acknowledge this. A human male just appeared from this portal with a bunch of goons, and then like all the goons tried to gang up on him, and he's like, nah, come here so I can bash your face in like the goons you are.
Not close. At least demons won't be coming out of there anytime soon.
You see, humans found their own themselves. Just and I saw it.
Learned terrible things this day. Ludmilla, madness exceeds my worst fears. We knew that she was indeed responsible. Her allies scheme with demons as well. What has she knowingly unleashed in Harish? Look, the skies will soon display the new moon. The time of the death cult ritual nears. Ritual grows. The ritual ground is at Asha's eternal shrine east of here.
Now, we will be stopping here. I've enjoyed our time together. Thank you, my loyal my viewer, for being here, having fun with me, and having conversations. It's really improved this experience. And I hope I improved your experience as I introduced you to this game. We will be continuing Thursday, but Friday, if you come, I'll be playing Jump Force with Blind Eyes, so you and me will be in it together. Do I know all the animes? No. Will I understand everything? Absolutely not, but I think that we'll have a hell of a time. Until then, I'll see you around.